appreciate what you do, and all of us who are either participating in the show or watching the show obviously have some degree of knowledge and expertise and personal interest in technology. We use it in everything that we do, and in many ways it helps our lives, it improves our lives, but there's some underlying dangers that we may not have thought about. Is that fair to say?
I think it is fair to say. And let me give you a little context. I founded and manage Clarkson Law Firm, which is about a 30 lawyer public interest law firm headquartered out of Malibu, California. We bring federal and state cases throughout California and the country involving class actions and mass actions against the largest corporations in the world. And many of our cases these days are against big tech. A couple of years ago, when the world was kind of taken by storm by ChatGPT, and the AI arms race was launched, we filed a couple of groundbreaking cases against big tech companies like OpenAI and Google. And the one against Google involved the mass theft of everyone's personal copyrighted works on behalf of authors, in order to train the large language models that fuel their AI chatbots, like Bard and what is now known as Gemini. And as a result of those lawsuits, we started talking with people all over the country about their engagement with artificial intelligence tools. And we heard from concerned citizens, potential clients, whistleblowers, thought leaders, policymakers, nonprofit leaders, all sounding the alarm bells about what they were seeing out in the world. And that led to other lawsuits involving artificial intelligence tools, such as our work against the big healthcare companies, against employers of employees and workers working in the AI economy, the gig economy, and then false advertising cases against companies using AI technologies, making promises about what their products can do, but learning that it's really just AI washing, a form of deception.
Ryan, when I first started really investigating AI and its potential benefits, I was told, and we saw a lot of articles, you saw it as well, one of the big positive additions of AI would be in the medical field, medical advancements. But also, as we look now, since we're more informed on the heels of the recent cuts to Medicaid, there's some reporting out there that shows that the Trump administration plans to launch a pilot program in the coming months that will utilize AI to determine Medicare coverage. So I'm trying to reconcile the medical advancements in which AI could be helpful versus how AI is being used probably incorrectly or inappropriately in regard to Medicare coverage. What am I missing in this discussion?
Well, I think we're all missing something, and that is when is the technological advancement going to come that's going to be this big benefit to society?
Mhm.
Because I don't think we've seen it yet. What we have seen is record profits from the biggest tech companies in the world, who are kind of blowing up this artificial intelligence bubble, so it seems, where it's adding trillions of dollars of market cap to all of these companies, while socializing harms that ordinary people are experiencing every day. Whether it is driving children into loneliness and depression and self-harm, and in some cases suicide, whether it's leading to job loss because corporations don't want to invest in teaching and developing workers, whether it is through deception and impacting consumers' back pockets by promising them one thing, taking their money in exchange for it, but delivering something that doesn't satisfy those promises. What you've identified in the Medicare context is pretty alarming, because our firm is prosecuting three hugely important cases against the largest health insurers in the country: one against United Healthcare, one against Humana, and one against Cigna. And those cases involve the use of artificial intelligence tools and advanced algorithms to supplant the expertise of licensed physicians and determining whether or not they should get the health care they're entitled to, or preventing people from access to diagnostic testing and services that would help either diagnose their conditions, after which they could treat it, or understand what's going on with them, from a health perspective. And what the administration is rolling out in January is they are nationalizing through what they call, a test of sorts. In 6 states, they're going to use artificial intelligence technology in making decisions around access to Medicare. And if there's any thing that can be learned from our lawsuits and what is happening to our clients and the classes of individuals who are trying to hold the big private health insurers to account, we need to be very vigilant and ensure that the same thing doesn't happen in the public context.
Everything you said resonates with me. I'm a guy who's in my mid, almost now later 50s, so I have to start thinking about these issues of Medicare and healthcare coverage much more specifically with consideration of AI. But I know that there are people watching right now who might be in their 30s who are not really into the idea of concerning themselves with Medicare. They just have their Apple iPhone and they said, none of this has anything to do with me. But I know that you can make it relevant for someone who's younger, who may believe that Apple and this, they may think that, well, AI is helping improve my pictures. I can use social media much more seamlessly thanks to AI. But I'm quite sure you can tell us how, especially with the corporation of Apple, that AI may not be the panacea that some may think.
Yeah, well, let me try to make it relevant by explaining the following. Each of us have parents, we have grandparents, and there are over 70 million Americans on Medicare Advantage plans. These are private Medicare-like plans that allow the older generation, our parents and grandparents, to access medical care when they need it. And in many, many examples, we represent, dozens of folks and have spoken to hundreds of people. And we know that this is happening on a huge scale. People are being denied their health care and it's causing, an acceleration in their demise, in some cases death. We know that this is happening. So some of our clients, for example, will go in for a surgery. Let's say they fall, they break a hip, they need hip surgery. And let's say that their surgeon states that they're going to need post-acute care in a rehab facility for about a month, right? That's the recommendation, okay? That's the prescription. The big health insurers are using artificial intelligence tools to guide their decision-making. So if the AI tool says, mom or dad only gets 8 days or 10 days or 12 days in the post-acute rehab facility, guess what? On day 13, they're being kicked out. And what happens is that person has to either forego care entirely or they're going to have to pay out of pocket. So you got folks that are going home, they're not ready, they're falling again. They may die as a result of that, as some of our clients have, or they're wasting their life savings on medical care that they're entitled to under their programs. Mm-hmm. And what we've done here is, as we've relied more and more on these artificial intelligence tools, we've just taken the humanity out of the doctor-patient relationship. And at the end of the day, that's the only opinion that should matter, is the doctor's opinion, right?
On the broader AI landscape, we were talking most recently about AI and healthcare, but on the broader landscape, are there certain bad actors who are worse than others? We may think of big tech in terms of companies like Alphabet or Apple or Meta, but I don't know if they should be all perceived in that same box. Are they all equally bad actors, or are there some who are more good faith actors?
It's a good question. It appears that there is a huge incentive among all corporations to try to leverage the perceived or actual power of artificial intelligence so that they can respond to their shareholders' interests in increasing profits and minimizing costs. That seems to be the big corporate focus right now. And so different corporations are using it in different ways. But the big tech firms have the artificial intelligence tools that are being adopted more broadly among companies. And so you see ChatGPT from OpenAI, and you see Gemini from Google, and Copilot from Microsoft, right? All these corporations are adopting this. And then you have to think about how they're using it. And then there are other technologies, typically they're chatbots, that are sounding alarm bells. An example would be Character AI, which has a chatbot that was marketed to parents and children to essentially create and cultivate, their own characters that they could then engage with, like human beings. And what we saw happening in that situation were horrible outcomes with AI psychosis and loneliness and depression, and in some cases, these chatbots radicalizing, isolating, and then coaching children, users, to take their own lives. And this has been well documented and the subject of a number of recent lawsuits. It's tragic, it's heartbreaking. And so, to answer your question, I think you got to look at the negative outcomes associated with these technologies to determine which ones need to be discontinued and pulled from the market or reined in a responsible way.
Well, I don't know how you managed to do it, Attorney Ryan Clarkson, how you managed to not only wrap your mind around some of these larger issues, but also can be an advocate in a world we don't even know where this technology is headed. We can see some of the warning signs, but we don't necessarily know where it's headed. And that's why this is going to be an ongoing conversation, not only here on the Mark Thompson Show, but all around the world. And I appreciate you, Ryan, for being on the front lines to not only protect Americans, but protect those who in future generations will have to deal with the consequences of the decisions that we're making right now with AI. I want to thank you for coming on the show today, Ryan.
Thanks so much for the opportunity. Good speaking with you.
I appreciate you. There you go.
Hi, it's Mark, and I thought that was great. Hit the notification bell. You'll know whenever there's a new video being dropped, and please subscribe to our channel to help us save the universe.